And on today's show, how to create more income for retirement. Part 3 of this week's series on Don't Worry, Retire Happy from Tom Hegna's public television special with nationally recognized author, platform speaker, and retirement expert, Tom Hegna. Hi everyone, I'm Steve Savant, syndicated financial columnist and contributing author to InsMark, LifeSpecs, and Backroom Technician. Let's get down to business. Well, welcome to the show, Tommy.
Hey, Steve, great to be back.
Well, we've been talking all this week about your Don't Worry, Retire Happy, and a lot of this material is in your new book. We're going to talk about that in the second segment for a moment, but when I think about really maximizing your guaranteed income, we just touched on this yesterday about this thing, and I have to surprise. I'm so surprised advisors do not know deferred income annuities as part of the guaranteed income plan.
Right. Well, deferred income annuities are the hottest new product, and you know I love guaranteed lifetime income because your retirement is not about your assets, it's all about your income, and I say guaranteed lifetime income.
Do you think people are having a hard time, advisors, making the jump from net worth to income?
They are. In fact, there was a whole article written by Robert C. Merton, a Nobel Peace Prize winning economist, published in the Harvard Business Review about the retirement crisis. You can Google it and you can find it. And he says, you know, people are looking at their 401ks as assets, and they should be looking at it as income because they see $400,000. They think they're rich because they haven't had $400,000, but that's really only about $12,000 a year in income, and they're not rich at all.
Well, let's go to it. Let's talk about guaranteed income because to me, this is where we're going to have guaranteed expense loads that are going to go up every year. We can't get around that.
Right.
Utilities, gas, groceries. I need to match up an income, guaranteed income plan that's going to take care of that.
Yeah, and Time Magazine said this: securing at least a base level of lifetime income should be every retiree's priority, at least if they want to live happily ever after. So I say guaranteed lifetime income is so important. Number one, for the ultimate success of your retirement. But number two, if you want to be happy, and I even throw in a third one, if you want to live longer, because there have been studies that show people who bought lifetime income tend to live longer than people who haven't. So that's
so apparently you feel obligated to die because you don't have enough cash.
So your sources of guaranteed income are pretty limited. You got Social Security, pensions, and whatever the shortfall is, that's where annuities fit. See, people don't understand. Annuities do things no other product can do. They can give you a guaranteed paycheck for the rest of your life. So the success of your retirement, as I said, is not about your assets. Your assets can be lost, they can be stolen, they can be swindled, they can be sued, they can be divorced, they can be decimated in a market crash. The success of your retirement is really about income. And I would argue guaranteed income and taking risks off the table. So, you know, here are the risks that we've talked about. And we've talked about this in the past, Steve. You know, there's market risk. We might have inflation, might have deflation. You might take out too much money. The sequence of returns risk. You might need long-term care. You might die. There's a lot of risks in retirement. But there's only one number one risk. The number one risk in retirement, hands down, is longevity risk. Why? Because it's not just a risk, it's a risk multiplier of all those other risks. See, the longer you live, the more likely the market will crash. The longer you live, the more likely you'll take out too much money. The longer you live, the more likely you need long-term care. So with all the research I can find on the subject of retirement from the smartest people in the world say, if you're going to retire successfully, you must take longevity risk off the table. Well, guess what? Stocks can't do it. Bonds can't do it. CDs can't do it. Real estate cannot do it. Only some form of an annuity can do it.
Now, when we think about this, remember, people are still waking up to this, and I've seen more in the public domain and secular media on longevity risk and annuities being the solution than I have in my entire 30 plus years in the business.
Sure, because it's math and science. There's no other product can do it. Like, none of these traditional products can take longevity risk off the table. See, here's the deal, Steve. If you retired at age 65 and you dropped dead at age 68, it wouldn't matter if the market crashed 4,000 points. It wouldn't matter if you withdraw 10% a year. It wouldn't matter if you forgot to buy long-term care. You didn't live long enough. But if you live to be 85 or 90 or 95, it's all those other risks that can wipe you out. So what math and science says is you've got to have guaranteed income, at least to cover those basic expenses in retirement. It's a personal pension-like stream of income, and you don't find anybody who says they don't like their pension, and you don't find anybody who says they don't like their Social Security. Well, guess what? Pensions are lifetime income annuities. Social Security is a lifetime income annuity. It's a guaranteed paycheck for life. And here's the compelling reason why, Steve. These are payout rates, and they're very current. There's, as of this month on immediateannuities.com, a 65-year-old is guaranteed about 6.64% a year, every year for the rest of their life. If they want a guarantee where that guarantee would continue if they were to die, because a lot of people say, what happens if I die? You know what's so funny? When you were selling life insurance, everybody swore they were never going to die. As soon as you start selling guaranteed lifetime income, they all swear they're going to die tomorrow. What happens if I die tomorrow? Well, if you happen to die tomorrow, this paycheck could continue to your family for the rest of the money that you put in there. Age 75, you're talking 9% or 7.63. Age 85, 14%, 10% with a guarantee. Where can an 85-year-old put their money and be guaranteed 10% a year for the rest of their life?
Now, when people look at this, they say, how can a company make 14.28%? How do they do that?
That's a great question, and I talk about this in the TV special. These are not interest rates. These are payout rates. These are cash flow rates. So let me give you an example with an easy number. Let's say you got $100,000 and you put it into a lifetime income annuity. If you're 75, it guarantees you $9,160 a year for the rest of your life. If you want the guarantee, it'll guarantee you $7,630 a year. But that includes principal, interest, and these mortality, or what I call in the special, longevity credits. These longevity credits are the secret sauce of guaranteed lifetime income. And if you try to retire and you don't have any longevity credits in your portfolio, math and science will prove that it's suboptimal, less than what it could or what it should be.
When you were on this PBS special, now I have a question, and then we'll cut for the break. Do people understand, consumers understand this new move? We're not using mortality credits, which is our industrial language. Now we're using longevity credits.
Well, I did longevity credits because Moshe Milevsky calls them longevity credits. They make sense. They're credits that you get the longer you live. It's like a bonus for living longer. The longer you live, the more of these longevity credits you get paid. It's the same as mortality credits, so I don't want people to get confused. But longevity credits is the way that I'm explaining it.
Well, I like it. I think that's the way to go because that's deindustrializing our language to the consumer.
Right.
We come back from the break. We're going to talk about maximizing our Social Security benefits. If we can do a tandem idea here, putting these ideas with our Social Security, this could be huge. We'll be right back.